Guys, what's up and welcome back to this YouTube channel. It's your guy Igor here, guys. Today's video is dedicated to making money with Airbnb here in Canada, and I'm your guy. I've been doing this for over 4 years now, running my own Airbnbs here in Canada, in Calgary, Alberta, not in Toronto, not in Vancouver, but in Calgary, guys. And now I'm sharing this video to make you a little bit richer, a little bit wealthier, because I found out one secret in Canada, guys. If you are acting like everybody else, you will be just like everybody else, and everybody else is doing pretty miserable in Canada. You know, guys, I'll tell you, if you watch this channel I've been doing for like 6 years now, right? Go back in history and watch when I was doing for Uber. I was driving for Uber part-time and full-time years back. Then I started doing Airbnb. But guess what? I didn't stop doing Airbnb, and today I'm going to share everything about it. I'm going to tell you about the risks, how much money you can make, and well, hopefully some of you, I don't expect everyone, but maybe 5 of you who are watching this video are going to make tens of thousands of dollars watching this video and going to be a little bit wealthier and richer and more successful in this country where everything seems to be too expensive and everyone is whining and complaining how bad the country is. And I can say, guys, it's bad only if you don't know how to play the system. But I'll teach you today how to play the system. So Airbnb, guys, where do you start? A lot of people would be like, oh, you need a business plan. Guys, I studied business administration. I did my master's in business administration and economics of enterprise. I did my PMP certification, guys. I did my global business management 2-year degree. I probably did so much of education, I could call myself a doctor at some point. Like, I literally almost went for PhD. They recommended me to go for PhD, and I said, I don't want to be a teacher. I don't want to teach anybody else. And then I started YouTube and teaching people about, you know, money making and everything, and helping people and educating in that way. But anyways, so you could call me Dr. Rigger. I'm just joking with you guys, like Frankenstein movie. That's what someone called me when they found out my name is Igor. So business plan, forget about the business plan. Okay, I had people who were writing business plans, long business plans for Airbnb, and Airbnb is a business. So if you are starting your Airbnb as a business and you're writing this long business plan, chances are you'll never actually start it. So you would be probably doing it, but once you start evaluating everything, you might just freak out and not do that. Here's my short napkin business plan. My snapshot, because I have 4 Airbnbs, guys, and I've been doing it for 4 years. So how does it work? 3-bedroom in Calgary, $3,000 of expenses to start. Oh, sorry, 2 bedrooms, $3,000. 5 bedrooms, $5,000. Give me a second. 2 bedrooms, 3,000. 3 bedrooms, 5,000. This is the correct number. 2 bedrooms, 3,000. 5 bedrooms, 3 bedrooms, 5,000. I'm getting confused. Anyways, for some reason, when I was renting out my house, which is more square footages, one upstairs, it cost me 5,000 to furnish everything, to put everything in place. I mean, the furniture, the beds, the everything, the TV and whatnot. It came up to a 5,000 ballpark. And when I was doing my condo Airbnb, well, it took me $3,000. For a basement, about 3,000 too, because the basement also has 2 bedrooms. So yeah, now you know the business plan. You know how much money to spend. I can make a separate video on how to actually do that, because it's a lot of stuff. Like, I usually go in more details with my clients who buy real estate with me in Calgary, Alberta, guys. But I go in more details on how to price it and how to do that in more details for them normally. And it's a long process. It's going to take hours to make this long video. So maybe some other video. But right now, let's just break it down so you can start if you want to make money right now while watching this video. Anyways, guys, I'll leave my own contacts in the description of this video. Also leave a referral link for Airbnb so you can support the channel. Just make sure you use that link to get the referral bonus and not sign up directly with Airbnb, because they are crooks. They don't want to pay me the referral bonus, and they don't want to give you any referral bonus if you didn't use the link. And a lot of people call me and complain about it. I called Airbnb. There is nothing they do about it. It's like, oh, but they haven't used the link. I'm like, ah. So please do use the link. Anyways, so what else you should know? Or what the category of people are there in Airbnb? I actually know one fellow who decided to call Airbnb and ask who would be staying in his Airbnb in that region. And he's like, do you think Airbnb knows about it? I'm like, for sure no. They know about it. And guess what they told him? They cannot give him that information. And I expected that they're going to say exactly that, because that's their internal business information. Like, why would they share their business information to somebody else like a host? on who are the people who are staying there. I'm sure they have all that statistic within their organization, but they will not give it to the public. So you have to do your own research. When you're planning, when you're starting Airbnb, find out which part of Calgary you're in, which city you're in, who is the tourist attraction. For example, let me just check if the camera is on. I want to make sure that everything is running. Yes, it's running, all good. So guys, let me do some minor adjustment here so it doesn't fall off. You guys have to know that next to airport, probably people from the airport is going to be coming out by. If you're next to Rocky General View or a hospital, you might have, I had doctors staying in my Airbnb because I'm not too far away actually from there in Canyon Meadows, but nurses would be staying, other people would be staying who are traveling, and it's difficult to portray. When I started my Airbnb, I just gave it a go. I'm like, I don't know who's going to stay. I'm in southwest of Calgary. I'm not close to the hospital. I'm not close to major attractions. I don't know who is going to stay. And I'm going to give it a shot. It was the best choice of my life to actually start it. You have to market your property, get professional pictures. I am my own professional photographer, so I took my own pictures. And I want to say, guys, these days, even an iPhone and Android, I would say, well, not so Android. Let's say Samsung or iPhone can do great pictures as well. Give it enough light and it's going to be great. Or you can be crazy like myself, bring a bunch of studio lights and bring your professional DSLR and click pictures like I did. But I say, if you have a cell phone which is not like 10 years old, but a modern one, couple of years old, you should be doing freaking fantastic without it. Just as long as you don't do it like some realtors do when you get them at discount brokerages where they sell your commission and they hold their cell phones with their feet and it looks horrible. So yeah, worst case, just hire a professional for $100 to come and do it for you. Or if you're cheap like me, put it on a tripod, use your cell phone, put enough light, open all the windows and take pictures and try to make it symmetrical. Watch some YouTube videos on photography, on real estate photography. Watch 5 videos, let's say. Spend 50 minutes, save $100, and you'll do pretty fine as well, guys. Anyways, so do some stage and do photography. You're going to need that. Who are the people who are going to stay? From my experience, I had doctors, nurses. Guys, there is a weird Canadian culture. Weird Canadian culture is that, well, actually, I like Canadian culture. Okay, let me tell you, as an immigrant, our parents would get offended if you tell them to stay in somebody else's home. In Canada, it's normal when grandparents come to visit their grandkids and they rent an Airbnb and they stay separately. Now, I think if I was not an immigrant and my parents would not get offended if I told them, hey guys, go and rent somebody else's freaking place, like we need some privacy here, they would get offended. But in Canada, they're pretty decent like that. So they would actually do that. Those are the kind of people that stay in my Airbnb. I had people coming from Edmonton working on solar panels for the school construction. They stayed. Best people ever. They come out by 7 a.m. for work. They're gone. They wake up before I wake up. They go for work. They come back by 10 p.m. with the box of beer. By 11 p.m. they're sleeping. By 7 a.m. they're gone again for work. And you don't see them. And when they leave, they take out their garbage. And they're quiet. They're never there. And you get paid. Best people ever. And usually, they are not the ones who are reviewing your Airbnb. It would be the person who booked it for them, usually a company or a business owner. And they normally just give you a 5-star review too. So don't worry about it. I like those guys. There's so many options for Airbnb like that. Parents, with this entire situation, guys, I'm Ukrainian, by the way. With the entire situation in Ukraine, people coming from Ukraine, I had Ukrainian families staying in my Airbnb. And some Canadian families actually paid for their stay. So some Canadian family booked an Airbnb for Ukrainian refugee family to stay in my basement. And I'm such a nice Ukrainian guy who charges Ukrainian refugees to stay in my basement in Canada. Now you have to report me and cancel me for that, guys. But those are the people who stayed. This year I had people staying who are traveling to Banff. I also have a lot of people right now, especially with entrepreneurship and migration, everyone moving to Calgary, people staying here who purchased their home or in pre-construction, or they sold their home and they're in the process of getting the keys of another home, coming out of a different province. So they would move here, take my Airbnb, stay there for weeks or a month until they get their keys. And then they would go. So there's so many different people that you would never expect would stay in your Airbnb and in your region. Now, unfortunately, there's not much of information, but you kind of have to do some guesswork. Yeah, and guys, and as a person who's been doing it for past 4 years, guys, I also want to say that you have to know a couple of more things about Airbnb. Why I personally like it is the assurance. For example, before the assurance, let me tell you about the cities. If you're Vancouver or Toronto, there are some regulations between the provinces and the cities, municipalities. In Calgary, for example, to get a business license, you also have to comply. Like if it's a condo, you need to get a condo board's approval and the owner of the property. So Airbnb arbitrage is pretty difficult to do here, and we can talk about Airbnb arbitrage in a different video. Guys, why I don't like Airbnb arbitrage, I'll give you a quick snapshot. You might be making $50,000 in a month. I'm like, oh my goodness, I'm rich. But your lease agreements would be 40. Your other expenses, and in the end you're left with nothing because you have staff to hire, other things, and lots of other expenses. So you seem like you're making a lot of money, but when you take your net income after tax, you're pretty broke and very difficult. You need to scale it a lot to make any money from it, and that's why I don't like Airbnb arbitrage. Separate video for that topic. We'll talk about it if you want to do that later. I prefer to invest into my own properties and not do arbitrage. It's way better. I find better leverage, better things, because it's not like I'm getting somebody else's rent. I'm actually having those people pay off my mortgages. I'll tell you guys a quick snapshot right now. I live mortgage free in Canada and I have 3 mortgages. Just a quick snapshot. Other people are paying for my entire mortgages and I'm cash flowing on that. Just a quick snapshot that this is possible in Canada. It's called house hacking. Love it or hate it, but if you're smart, and I don't think I'm really smart because I know lots of people who are way smarter than me. Unfortunately, so many people are smarter than me. But I hope I'll get there one day. I'm trying to read books and educate myself to get a little bit smarter, but we'll see. After 35, it's pretty difficult to develop new brain neurons or stuff like that. Let's see. Started working out, lost some weight, getting into shape. But anyways, back to the topic. I'm just talking about those people who are having multiple businesses and they're so successful. I know some people who are so successful beyond imaginable. And the craziest part about it that in Canada is that those people are so encouraging and supportive of other people's success. It's insane, guys. The more successful person you meet, the more likely they would be cheerful for your success. Meanwhile, you meet some family member of your own, guys, and I'm bringing from my own example, who would take you down just because, you know, you're doing slightly better than them. So guys, I wish you all the best on your success in Canada, and I hope this video is going to make you some money right now. So why I like it, besides the regulations and everything, it's possible here in Calgary once you have the documents. So you need to have a fire plan, right, to get the City of Calgary license and an insurance, like liability insurance. Everything is possible, everything is fine, slightly more expensive, but it's doable, and it's not that expensive as you might think. So is Airbnb worth it? Definitely freaking worth it. Now, guys, what I like personally is, and I've been doing it for years, is that I had a guest who, like, guys, you know, it's not like tenants in Ontario or BC or Montreal. There are people who take cash for keys, so they charge you money to. Oh, is it going to rain now? My goodness, they charge you money to get out of your own property. My goodness, guys, what the hell is wrong with Canada? Why do people do that? In Airbnb, guys, over past 4 years, I think 6 people I kicked out from Airbnb in total with police over the past 4 years. I would say 1 or 2, maximum 2 people a year average is where I would kick people out. But I also scaled it, guys. I had 4 Airbnbs in total, right? I'm going down slightly on narrowing down to a little bit less Airbnbs because I'll tell you in a moment why. But long story short is, the maximum ever I charged someone was $1,100 cleaning fee for somebody who stayed there literally half a day. Those guys, I kicked them out with the police. They wanted to make a party in my house and I kicked them out. And you cannot do that with the tenant. You just trespass them. It's your property. You just call the police and they get them out of your property. In that case, they just surrounded the entire house. They came in and the guy was like, the police guy is like, okay, the owner of the property wants you to go out. And the guys are like, oh, but how long do I have to do that? And the cop guy looks at his watch. He's like, well, as soon as possible. And he puts on his gloves. I'm like, holy crap, is he about to kick someone? Is he about to kick them out? By the way, guys, look at this beautiful construction going on behind me. I'm in Lake Buena Vista right now, guys. very inexpensive community. You see some houses here that are old. You're not going to believe some houses how much they're worth. And it's in Calgary. You'll be like, oh my goodness, that's all. Look at that shed. Look at that shed. And that shed could be 800 something thousand dollars. So, guys, it's a great community. The land value in here is great. It's one of the first lake communities. I think it's the first in Calgary, actually, that was built here. I think 1970s or something. I can double check, guys. You can Google it. Guys, yeah, I can put a link in the description of this video to the website that it says, let me Google it for you. It literally types in a Google the question that you're asking me and searches and gives you the Google results of that website. Anyways, guys, long story short is, a lot of people are trying to buy such properties as investment properties. Now, guys, I'm doing Airbnb, and it does pay very good. It does pay very well, especially for the tax purposes too. So Airbnb is an active income. And I'll tell you, I had a frustration not too long ago. I had 4 guests checking in and checking out at the same day. So because I'm cheap ass guy who's trying to maximize his income, I was like, okay, let them check out. So in the same day, I had real estate showings, and I had to meet with the clients and everything. And I had all the guests from all the Airbnbs checking out by 11 and new guests checking in by 4 p.m. I was pissed. And I didn't have cleaners. So I am, you know, at that time, right now I'm dressed up like this as a realtor driving around with the XP in Calgary. And at that time I was like a car salesman. I was professionally dressed up. And I'm cleaning all of that. And I was so pissed because no cleaners, and I did all the cleaning myself. I'm running around with the vacuum cleaner in a suit, and I'm cleaning my own Airbnbs before the other guests check in. I'm literally cleaning the toilets there too. Like, because what? You guess what? Well, do you think you can just leave a toilet dirty as well? No, you cannot. With the rubber gloves, latex, and I'm walking around like a housewife cleaning. I was so pissed. And then I had a person who wanted to, get a discount based on the cleaning, who came to me and they were like, yeah, we need a discount. And they were negotiating. I was so pissed. I'm like, you know what, screw this Airbnb and everything. So I'm downsizing my Airbnb because of all of this, because it's a very active income. And I run a real estate business. My wife runs a mortgage brokerage business. So she has her mortgage license. She's working with DLC Greater Trust Mortgage. She's licensed in Ontario and Alberta. She helps all people over Canada, guys. But anyways, if you really want to help me, make sure you use the link in the description of this video to start Airbnb when you're starting. You're going to support this channel, guys. Anyways, that's when I was overwhelmed. Literally 8 hours of cleaning. I was drained. I was annoyed, and I was like, why am I so freaking cheap? And you guys, you can say, oh, you should have got cleaners, but they sometimes don't show up too, and you still have guests, and you don't want to lower down your rating, you make less money. So it's an active income. So it can be overwhelming, but it's great money, guys. It's definitely is a great money, guys. So if you are cleaning all those Airbnbs, I literally saved that day like $400 doing it myself. So there is money in it. But, personal ego humiliation inside my soul. Holy crap. Anyways, guys, I was so overwhelmed that I gave one guest a discount. It was 100% discount. My wife never seen me that mad. I just said, you know what? If you're negotiating on the cleaning and stuff, I give you 100% discount. They're like, what do you mean? They're like, well, you don't stay here, you don't pay anything. You can go and stay somewhere else. That's the discount I gave one person one of those days like that. And I want to say, guys, in terms of the peoples, sometimes you get people who have a lot of money in such cars and people who have less money in such cars staying in your Airbnb. One thing I learned about Airbnb is to charge a premium. You always charge more money. You don't want people who don't have money in your Airbnb. They have more demands. They want more free stuff. They complain. They complain about your renovations. They complain about whatever, hairdryer requests. They want to make sure they'll drain every penny that they pay for your Airbnb if they're broke. But then you get rich, guys. They'll stay. They'll give you 5-star review. They'll leave your kids. I had a guy who left $50 gift card to Toys R Us because my kids were making noise upstairs in the unit where I'm actually staying upstairs. And they're like, that's awesome. I was like, oh my goodness, definitely not getting a good review. They're like, we love kids. Here's $50 gift card for your kids. And they gave us a 5-star review on top of it. So I charge premium now because you get better people if you charge premium. You should never be the cheapest Airbnb on the block. You should always be above average Airbnb on the block. If you want to have better people, more money, and better reviews, and better reviews lead to more money. So you want more richer guys there. Guys, Airbnb is a great business, but as I said, it's an active income. Lots of taxes can be written off. I'm not a CPA, but you can write off some of your groceries, for example, that you spend for Airbnb, right? The gas, driving around, furniture, insurance, mortgage, interest payments, utilities, like a lot of expenses, guys. I cannot tell you. And your income bracket tax is also cheaper because it's an active. So my CPA told me that it's actually an active income and it's taxed less than it was a passive income like a long-term rental. So there is insane amount of benefits and you make so much more money. So make sure you use a link in the description of this video, guys, and not go directly with Airbnb, because I'm just reminding you that because you're going to forget about it by the end of this video when you're signing up. And you'll support this channel a lot. You'll support more videos like this, and ask me questions too, guys. I'm not yet done with the video, but ask me questions, what you want to know about Airbnb, and I'll try to cover as much as I can. So what are the risks? There is almost no risks. You get people who can, make a mess or even trash your place in a way. And Airbnb has always, not a single time they haven't paid me out, always over the 4 years, every single claim I submitted, they paid out. I had people who used my pillow sheet to remove their makeup. And I had people who were like, you know what, I'm sorry that happened. Like one time I came in and some grandmother, she slept in a bed with a piece of chocolate. I don't know why people sleep with the chocolate, but I thought she killed someone there. I came and it's such a red stain in the middle. I was like, what the? I was like, who died here? I was like, I never seen a person who is alive after this who bled that much. So no, she slept with the chocolate and she actually paid for the entire bedsheet cover and everything. It's fine. It happens. I don't know why you sleep. Like, what is sugar addiction to sleep? I never had anyone sleep, not being drunk with with the chocolate inside it. But it looked like one of those schemes where they put chalk around, like you go and there is a chalk around somebody's crime scheme. I came in, I was like, where is the body? And yeah, it was chocolate. It was not even blood. But I was like, yeah, I'm not touching it with my. I was like, I have to make sure I'm wearing the entire protection cover if I'm going to be removing that. But anyways, had people who apologized and they paid themselves, people who didn't apologize, and Airbnb paid for them. Never had a problem like that. Any kind of repair, anything, guys. I got a new couch like that, in a way that people who stayed in the basement, for example, damaged the couch, and Airbnb paid for a new couch. So what I did is I went to what is it called? I think not. I forgot the place. Me and my wife, we went and we got ourselves a new couch, and we gave our old couch to that Airbnb. So we got ourselves an upgrade. So in that way, it kind of pays for itself in that way, guys. So it's a great business. It's an active business. There's lots of expenses that can be written off. But keep in mind, guys, if you are, for example, I'm going down to one Airbnb now, because I'm in real estate, guys. And yeah, Airbnb makes me, if I do it, probably $2,000 extra a month compared to long-term rent. But the amount of money I can make from real estate instead of running Airbnb, because it actually became a job for me, having 4 of them, probably $5,000 in a month. So I'm trading in the 2 extra thousand for 5 extra thousand. So I'm kind of, let's say I'm going to lose that $2,000 to make 5. So that's the reason why I'm downsizing on Airbnb, because I have a conflict of 3 different businesses in one household right now. With all my investment properties and with all the real estate businesses that are running through my household and plus 2 kids, it was overwhelming and too much. And even though my first thinking, and that is like, my cheap thinking is like, oh, but what if I do both? It's going to be $7,000 a month, which is freaking awesome. And I'd rather do that, right? But it's overwhelming and it's too much. And it's actually damaging to real estate business, because now that business gets in between of your real estate business and you cannot do it properly. So I had to make some choices and I had to downsize it on that part. But if you don't have such a choice, keep in mind, guys, if you have a job, you might have to set up a staggering date where people have a day in between for cleaning to allow yourself enough time for that, or hire cleaners or hire property management company to help you with running Airbnb. but also keep in mind about all the expenses and everything. So just gotta say, guys, it's an active business. I'm slowly wrapping up the video because it's going to rain now. But I gotta say, it's a great business, makes a lot of money. Just think about how many of them you want. And I want to say, guys, I've been in Canada for a while now, and you know, I purchased my home. I was driving for Uber. Just think about it, guys. I was driving for Uber at that time. I was making $200 a week. It's not full week, just one day in a week, or after work, couple of hours I worked. And anyways, it was $200 a week. There are 52 weeks in a year, so it's like more than $10,400 in a year. Guys, some money was coming in from YouTube and things like that. And I went and I purchased my entire home, my second property. You know, I purchased my second property years back only from that income, only from gig economy income. That's the secret in Canada, guys. If you are, you know, people are like, hey, Igor, where did you get all that money to buy that extra property? That's how you get the money in Canada. If you are in Canada and you're not doing anything besides having, for example, if you have a $1.5 million property and you don't have a rental basement that at least pays off part of your mortgage, let's say, I'm sorry to tell you, yeah, privacy is expensive, but you're missing out on a lot of money that you could be making, you know, from that could be paying your interest payments. You'd be saving some money, keeping more money from your job in your pocket. If you do gig economy, drive part-time for Uber, you'll be, you know, like, okay, people make fun of me. They're like, you're working oil and gas and you were driving for Uber 6 years back. Hell yeah. Like, what am I, okay, my ego, yeah, it's there. I'm oil and gas, I'm making good income. But at the same time, my ego tells me, it's $10,000 a year. You know, you have to do almost nothing. And then my co-workers that I worked with, most of them don't have any real estate, but I went and, you know, just over a year of my extra gig economies, I went and I purchased a freaking house with 5% down payment. And those guys have no money. I was able to save up money from my job, like Dave Ramsey, no drinking coffee, right? One thing I cannot give up is the coffee. I live on it. I was putting up some job money from that, extra income from Uber. I didn't pull up any money from Uber that I made. It was on a savings account. And then next thing you know, some income coming up, you know, from YouTube advertisement revenue. Next thing you know, we're like, oh my goodness, I have a down payment for a house. That's how I purchased my second property. And then similar way I purchased my third property. Guys, that's how I have 4 rental units right now in total. And one of the units I pay. And the rental units are actually paying for the one where I pay. So I don't have a mortgage. I don't pay property taxes. Well, I do pay for everything, but literally the people who are renting from me are paying for me to live for free. And that's Canadian system. So if you don't use it to your advantage, then I'm sorry to tell you guys, you are literally paying for convenience. It's a convenience store. You can go to Costco and save up money, but you're going to 7-Eleven and doing your groceries there. And it's very expensive if you do it that way. And that's unfortunately most of the Canadians, that's how they live. They don't know financial management. A lot of people here struggling because they don't take advantage. It's either their privacy or their ego gets in between, or maybe laziness of people, or maybe just lack of information. And that's why I'm making videos like this for you guys, to say that you can do that. There are options in this beautiful country. It's a freaking awesome country, and everything's going to be great, guys. And if you need any real estate advice and you want to go into detail on your Airbnb business, you need somebody who actually ran Airbnbs longer than I've been in real estate. I've been in real estate for 3.5 years now, and my 4th year, and I've been doing Airbnb for more than 4 years in Canada. You got someone who actually, you know, not just claims to know something, but actually knows something. And in terms of experience with real estate, some people ask me, oh, Igor, what's your experience in real estate? Not to brag, but on my first year in real estate, I sold more properties than majority of realtors will do through their entire career. So I have experience in real estate, vast experience as well. Thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you in the next video. Thank you.